So I just wanted to talk about the Toe, Tao. So I played with her for about an hour and a half. I gotta say she's a pretty fun character. She's got really good maneuverability as far as the maneuverability of the character, the skills. Her Fatal Blossom doesn't hit as hard as I thought it would have. Although you do have a pretty good amount, and you could always boost it with the scrolls and things you get. Not just scrolls, but the talents that you pick throughout the game. You know, the talents that you're leveling up or you're picking throughout the game. Those are always some of the really good things that you'll be able to grab and basically get from the game, or to upgrade those skills. Yeah, so if you ever have a problem with her, or you're struggling with her skills, which is what I kind of struggled more towards the beginning games, it seemed like, and then towards the later games I was kind of getting a little bit better. She did have a little bit more of a learning curve than I thought she would have. Only because she doesn't necessarily hit as hard as, let's say, the dog or the pooch. Who the pooch is, who is actually my number one go to is, I don't even know how to say his name, Aobai. Um, but yeah, the dog. I call him Doggo. The Doggo has been my favorite. He's always been my favorite character, just because I can dual equip weapons and just put out massive amounts of damage. Just massive amounts of damage. One of my favorite characters. Everybody tells me he's a shit character, but for some reason, he's always been my favorite character. I've always gone with him. Now, as for Tao, she's a fun character. When you're using her alt ability, I think that it leaves a little bit to be desired. Um, I guess it's the swords out. It's called swords out. And pretty much you just kind of like, it's kind of like a multiple blade thrust, kind of like you're just thrusting multiple blades at the enemy, or throwing multiple flying swords at the enemy. It's a good skill. I powered it up pretty decently, but I still didn't feel like it had the duration that I wanted. I do like her as a character, though. Like, I can't lie and say that I don't like her as a character. Like I said, the maneuverability of the character, she's really good. She feels very fluid, and I really like that in my characters. I cannot stand stiff characters. Too many people like the stiff characters. Like, I get it, it's cool and all, but not for me. I'm not a big fan of the stiff characters. I've never have been. Gears of War, I just hated the characters because they were so stiff. That's why I prefer games like Call of Duty, Apex Legends over Valorant, which Valorant's a whole different discussion because I can't stand that game because of how slow it is. But that's another topic because I have a rant on that game coming. Don't worry about that. I have a very long rant on that game coming and why it sucks. All right, so back on to Tao. She seems to be better in the later stages. If as far as what I was noticing, I just wasn't able to get her to that point. I just kept falling short, especially when it came to arming her. When I was using the swords with Tao, it was actually pretty good. She was doing some really good damage with the swords, but for some reason I wasn't getting a lot of sword drops or anything like that, which is quite disappointing. Like these weapon mastery skills, which are going to enhance your combat, but when I was going through the stages with her, a lot of the randomization was just kind of all over the place when it came to her skills, and it kind of felt like I was getting bits and pieces of each one, not a good mesh of skills. I do think her skills need a little bit of rework, especially when it comes to duration of her alt ability or main ability, the swords out. I know Blade and Heart is what it's called. I'm over here calling it swords out when it's called Blade and Heart. So overall, how would I rank her in the characters? I would rank her probably my second favorite. Doggo's my favorite. She's my second favorite. Bird Person is my third favorite. Um, Puss in Boots, I would say he's my second to last. I can't get in the groove with this guy. I don't know. I know a lot of people play him, and he's probably like the most heavy hitting. And my buddy plays him, and he consistently out damages me. And I don't know if it's the character he's playing, but this character seems to output a lot more damage. I just can't get used to him. I don't like the way he plays. He kind of feels really stiff to me when he plays. He doesn't feel as kind of flexible and as maneuverable as Tao does. Now the dog, he is not flexible. He's kind of more of a stiffer character, but he's a little bit in the medium ground when it comes to like between these two. At least that's what I seen, and that's what I felt when I was playing the game. Overall, I think I would rank Tao a 3.5 out of 5 right now. She's a good character, she really is, but her Blade and Heart ability needs a little bit of rework. It needs to have a little bit slightly longer duration, maybe like a 1 to 2 second add on to the duration of each one. Maybe limit how many she can do, add on to the duration, and just slightly, or add an ascension that allows for her to increase it for a little bit. She feels like a really good character, but she feels more like a backup character rather than a main character. That's just my opinion. Take it as is. If you have a different opinion, I'd love to hear it. Comment, like, subscribe. Let me know. I would love to hear it. Thank you all for watching. Y'all have yourself a wonderful day.